"You're outdated. We're done here." The words didn't come from my boss. They came from my own mother. She stood in the kitchen, veins alive in her neck, hand trembling around her phone like it was evidence. My brother's voice crackled on speaker, frantic, entitled. "He needs help today," she said, eyes sharp. "Not next week, today." I looked at the calendar taped above the sink, red marker, circled twice, welding certification exam. The last gate, the one that decided whether the last 5 years meant something or nothing. "I can't," I said quietly. That's when she exploded. "He's building a life," she screamed, "a real one. You're just playing pretend with these little tests and tools. Skip it. Help your brother move. Be useful for once." I felt something inside me go still, not break, lock. "Understood," I said. That was the moment I stopped being their son and became their reckoning. We weren't always like this. That's the lie people tell themselves to survive betrayal. I used to believe we were close. I used to believe love was equal. My brother was the golden blueprint, college photos on the wall, his graduation cap framed like a relic. Every mistake explained away as pressure or potential. I was the other one, the one who liked machines, sparks, the clean honesty of metal joining metal. I didn't fail, I just chose differently. And they never forgave me for that. I paid rent on time. I fixed the car when it died. I watched the house when they traveled. But when my brother needed money, I was told to understand. When I needed silence to study, I was told to be flexible. Love in that house had weight limits, and I always exceeded mine. The betrayal wasn't loud, it was administrative. 2 weeks before my exam, I opened a letter addressed to occupant. Bank logo, my name misspelled. Inside, notice of delinquency. My stomach sank. I hadn't missed a payment. Turns out, my mother had been borrowing from the account I shared with her for household expenses, small amounts, over time, to help my brother with deposits, movers, new furniture. She never told me. She never planned to. When I confronted her, she smiled the way people do when they're certain they're right. "You'll make it back," she said. "Your brother needs it now." That was the moment pain turned into clarity. Not rage, not tears, planning. I stopped arguing. I started documenting every transfer, every text, every voicemail where my contribution was expected, not appreciated. I separated accounts, froze permissions, quietly redirected my paycheck. I called the certification board, confirmed the exam time, the rules, the consequences of absence. Failing meant a year delay. A year meant lost contracts. Lost contracts meant no future. They knew that. I packed a bag, tools, documents, laptop. I hid it in my car trunk under a tarp like contraband. At night, I studied while they slept. The house hummed with entitlement. I learned to weld with one ear open, listening for footsteps. They thought I was still pliable. That was their mistake. The day before the move, my brother called. "You're coming, right?" "No," I said. Silence. Then Mom took the phone. "You will ruin this family," she hissed. "You will regret this." I believed her, just not the way she meant. I left that night. No speech, no note, just absence. The next morning, I took my exam. I passed. Perfect score. By noon, I signed my first contract with a fabrication firm that didn't care who I was related to, only what I could build. By evening, my phone exploded. Missed calls, messages, panic. The movers had shown up. The money wasn't there. The account was frozen. I returned once, not to apologize, to collect the rest of my things. The house felt smaller, quieter. My brother sat on the couch, hands in his hair. My mother stood rigid, eyes red. "You sabotaged us," she said. "No," I replied. "I stopped enabling you." She tried to cry. I didn't move. "You chose him," I continued, "every time. I just finally chose myself." My brother looked up. For the first time, he looked scared, not of me, but of the reality he'd been cushioned from. They asked me to stay, to help, to fix it. I smiled, just a little. "You're outdated," I said softly. We're done here. I didn't destroy them, I let gravity do its job. Without my quiet support, the debts surfaced, the lies unraveled. My brother's life stalled without a safety net. My mother learned the cost of favoritism. As for me, I build things now that hold weight. Steel doesn't scream, metal doesn't lie, and when you join two broken pieces the right way, they hold. I don't regret leaving. I regret staying as long as I did, and I will never mistake obligation for love again.